all see battle, and what you do here today may well save your lives.
Being old's not so bad. My daughter keeps me fed. My working days are done.
Plenty of fresh fish for you. Down at the docks. There are a few good spots if you can avoid the East Empire Company workers and those Red Wave thugs. Svari, yes. It's been hard on her. The girl misses her uncle. I've tried to explain that Rogvir did something bad, and that we all have to be accountable for our actions. But the child feels what she will. See for yourself. These are troubled times. Be on your guard out there.
Dean Inga says a bard
You
can
look
never
like
have
you
enough
could do with a
practice.
ripe apple.
Would
Or
you
a
like a
tomato. Cabbage. Or leek. I have my ways, but it's not easy these days. The Black Blood Marauders have been plundering ships off the coast. A lot of people been hurt by their foolishness. That I do. I had a messenger from Dragon Bridge stop here on his way to the Blue Palace not too long ago. He was very nervous. Mentioned something about needing help. Come back when you figure out how to spend money.
The finest fish here. Caught daily.
You wouldn't have a few minutes to run down to the docks, would you?
How about I trade you
They're
a song for some
adequate.
food?
Honestly,
You
I
don't
rely
need
on the
much
business brought in
fruit.
by the burning of
I've
King
heard when
Olaf,
you sing,
and that's not
people
likely
throw
to happen
tomatoes
this
at you
year.
Anyway.
Well, it's a great big festival put on by the Bards every year. They burn an effigy of old King Olaf. It's quite a bit of fun. The Bards give out spiced wine during the festival, so they put it in a big order. And then, for weeks after, demand is so high, I can barely keep up. But with the death of High King Torrig, the festival has been declared in poor taste. So it looks like it won't happen this year. Well, I've got a shipment of spices the East Empire Company is holding up. I need someone to convince them to release it.
Fresh fish. Straight from the fjords.
Great. Get back to me when you're done and I'll give you something for your time.
Fruit. Fresh off the boat. The freshest in Skyrim.
Oh, yes. A secret family recipe. The only good thing my father Octave ever did. In fact, it's so good, no one else in Skyrim even tries to make any. Good luck out there. Seems like a tough time to be wandering Skyrim.
Dean Inga says a bard can never have enough practice. So, would you like a tune? What can I do
Spiced
for you?
wine for you? It's a family recipe.
I'm a bard, from the Bards College here in Solitude. Wanderers like you should think about applying.
Get your fresh
Thanks for
fruit
taking the
and
time.
here.
People never want to
Wanderer
talk
like
to
you
me.
needs a little fire in the veins. Some spiced wine?
Fresh fish. Straight from the fjords.
If you ever want to replace those old rags, stop by Radiant Raiment.
Not fair. You're well aware I can't seem to get warm here. Do you know I look forward to the burning of
Nothing at all. It's very nice. If you want something with a little more style, however, you should come by our shop, Radiant Raiment. We could fix you right up. You're really going to the Blue Palace? That presents an opportunity. If you are willing to wear one of Radiant Rament's outfits and speak to the Jarl, I would not only pay you, but let you keep the outfit.
Finest fish here. Caught daily.
Good. Here's the outfit. Try to get Elisif's opinion on it, and if she likes it, mention it's from Radiant Raiment. It's not an insult, just an observation. If I were walking around with a wound, I would want you to tell me to see a doctor. Your outfit is something of an open wound where attire is concerned.
Fresh fish.
Remember Radiant Raiment when you need a change of attire.
Spiced wine, taste of home and heart. Apples, tomatoes, leeks, and cabbages, fresh and ripe.
Finest fish here. Caught daily.
Got to thinking. Maybe I'm the Dragonborn. I just don't know it yet.
Are you here to talk about my brother? Do you think his execution was justified? Rogvir. He opened a gate and they executed him for it. He opened a gate and the wrong man rode out of it. If that man hadn't been Ulfric's Stormcloak. If Ulfric hadn't killed High King Torrig. But it was Ulfric. And he did kill the High King in honorable combat. My brother refused to allow the Imperials to take revenge for the deed. So now he's dead. Then like Rogvir, you have a Nord's heart. It's hard for many of the people here to understand. I think Aldous understands. I don't think I could have stayed here if anyone else had... I think I need to be done talking for the moment.
Welcome to the Bards College. I'm the headmaster here. How may I help you? Always a pleasure to meet a prospective bard. You should be aware that many apply, but we accept very few people. When possible, we ask applicants to perform tasks the college needs completed. In this case, I do have a task befitting an aspiring bard. Elisif has forbidden the burning of King Olaf, a festival put on by the Bards College. We need to change her mind. To convince her, I want to read King Olaf's verse, part of the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Unfortunately, the verse was lost long ago. Yes, according to Giraud, our history's keeper, the portion of the Edda dealing with King Olaf might still exist in Dead Man's Respite. I need you to retrieve the poem. Not much, to be honest. Their return was a shock to us all. Sherrod Germain has some tomes about them in the library if you're interested. Not much. But as a bard, I find the whole affair depressing. There are no heroes in this war, no winners to be had, and no real conclusion. If you want something a bard can dig into, look to the dragons. 1,000 years from now, Skyrim will have changed rulers dozens of times, but the return of the dragons, that story is once in an era. As you may be aware, Elisif's husband, High King Torrig, was recently killed. Elisif mourns her husband deeply, and she feels that a festival that burns a king in effigy is distasteful. I tried to convince her the festival is many centuries old and celebrates solitude, but I need proof. I believe King Olaf's verse will provide that proof. I think Giraud here would give you the best explanation of both it and the history of King Olaf's verse. You should speak to him about it. I wish you luck in finding the verse.
Good to meet a prospective bard. He's sending you after King Olaf's verse, then? That's good. We shouldn't leave it lying around now that I figured out where it is. The verse was Svafnir's contribution to the Poetic Edda, the living history of Skyrim. Each bard adds to the Edda in his or her time. And a very ancient one. The verse criticized the reigning King Olaf. He was so incensed the bard was put to death and all the copies burned. At least, that's what we thought until I translated some ancient texts a year or so ago. We now believe King Olaf buried the truth with the bard. If I'm right, Svafnir and King Olaf's verse lie in Dead Men's Respite, along with the burial chamber of King Olaf himself. Be careful. You might find more than just King Olaf's verse in Dead Man's Respite. Hildy, what year did the Aldmeri Dominion invade the Empire?
Late 171.
Good, Hildy. Soak in the lore. Yorn, what happened during the Red Year?
Morrowind suffered a massive explosion.
Vardenfell's Red Mountain erupts. Try to be precise here. Remember, being a bard isn't just about the music.
You're new here, right? Welcome to the Bards College. It's like a musical museum.
Youngest bard at the Bards College, at your service.
I wish only to graduate and enroll with the Legion. My drums will lead our troops to victory. And why wouldn't I be? We sing tales of kings, queens, and their politics, 'tis true. But do you know who really makes history? The person who writes it. Farewell, stranger.
I'm Dean of Lute at the Bards College, and no, I don't give private lessons. It takes two things to be a good teacher. The first is patience. The second is a firm wooden stick for rapping knuckles.
Lady Atia says my voice is second only to hers, but she's selling me short. Few can resist my charms. Even fewer are worthy of them.
Only reason I'm so good with a lute is because I'm old. It takes a lifetime to master. Excite the crowd, draw them in. They will love you for it. Very good. Let's continue with our practice.
Good evening. I'm Pantia Atia, the master vocalist.
could always use help picking crops if you need a few extra coins. Honest pay for honest work. Honest pay for honest work. Until next time.
Need a ride? Solitude's been the capital of Skyrim as long as I can remember. Most of the High Kings of Skyrim were Jarls of Solitude first. Well, let's see, what else? The Bards College is here, and the main office of the East Empire Company. If you need it, you can get a room for a fair price at the Ranking Skeever, just inside the main gate. Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. Nice weather for a ride. Hope it lasts.
Same kind, you and I. I'm glad to have met you. If that is what you wish. Lead on, then. If that is what you wish.
Let's go.
dare to trespass in these ruins. What you lack in wisdom, you make up for in courage.